Okay, Bruchim Abayim, you're very welcome. This is our last class before the break, the summer break, and I'm really very happy to see you all. Thank you for coming, thank you for joining us, and thank you also for our members and friends who join us later on the YouTube page. Today we are going to talk about something that it's really very fascinating, and it's and involve the side of the mystic of the Judaism. We are talking about Geulah in the modern Hebrew, that it means redemption. Okay, before we enter, what when you listen the word redemption, Geulah or Geula, what do you think about? What it means? Oh, sorry. Sorry, I was talking and I didn't plug. You didn't listen to me, no? Now, did you listen what I said before? Okay. Okay, when you listen about Geula, we are talking about what? Redemption. What is redemption?
God rescuing humanity.
Okay, very good. Susie, what else?
Being accepted.
Being accepted.
Being accepted.
Okay.
Well, I've
Jane-
often,
Oh,
sorry,
go ahead.
I've often wondered what we need to be redeemed from. The Christians want to be redeemed from sin. So I don't know what us Jews need to be redeemed from, which is the meaning of redemption.
Okay.
So I really don't know.
We are going to discover together.
Good.
To me, it means changing something about ourselves that we've been doing.
Try to speak loud or close to the
sure.
microphone, please, Paul.
Yeah. Redemption starts with changing something about ourselves, something that we're doing. We can't be redeemed without a change.
Okay. It's something that's coming from us. We start this action.
It has to start with us, yes.
Okay. Okay. Any other idea? Any other opinion about redemption? Thoughts? Okay, let's start and let me share my screen and we are going to discover together. Let's see. Here it is. Okay.
I know him.
Can you see my screen?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's go. Let's go. Okay, the Jewish concept of Geulah, redemption. The exodus from Egypt as the model for all redemption. Redemption is an ongoing process rather than a single historical event. Okay, the first thing that it's coming to us, great moments in the Jewish history regarding to redemption. Abraham Avinu, Abraham, our patriarch, the beginning of a sacred mission, the Exodus, Yetziat Mitzrayim, Mount Sinai, the place that we receive the Torah, the exile, when we return from the exile, and the messianic hope. These things can be considered part of the redemption. When I asked it, Susie said rescue. Yes, the redemption as something that help us and bring us, yes, for a better place, or the place can be also spiritual when we are talking about redemption. Be careful. If you can, I will mute you because I listen some echo, and when you talk, okay, you can open the mics. Okay, then we can see very important moments in the Jewish history. Egypt, it's so important because we need to remember that in Egypt we can be considered as a group of slaves, not as a people. The people of Israel start with when we receive the Torah at Mount Sinai, but we are considered a people when we had memory about the past, and the past was Egypt, and we can consider a people when we had and when we enter to our own land. That time we can consider, okay, the beginning of the redemption. Why Abraham Avinu? Because Abraham Avinu, it's also before Egypt. But Abraham Avinu started with something that it's really very important. He started with the idea of monotheism. He started to think just about one God. And then many followers come after Abraham till he arrived to the Holy Land. In that time, we call the Holy Land Canaan. The Exodus was, of course, very important. Mount Sinai. Why Mount Sinai? Because in Mount Sinai, we started to build our own identity. We received the commandments, and then we have rules to follow. And this is also part of the redemption. This is what I trying to show you. When we are talking about redemption, we are not talking just about one event, one single historical event. We need to consider many important events. Exile, of course, when we were expelled from the land of Israel and we went to Babylon, we continue to build our identity. We develop books and we develop the Talmud in Babylon, and we develop institutions like the synagogue, and we started to develop a different way to pray, not more with sacrifice of animals, now with prayers, singing, dancing, a different way. When we return, also, we can consider this time as a redemption time. And we have it at the end of this list, the Messianic hope. The Messianic hope show us the future. And this one is one of the points that it's different from other religion, or perhaps from the Christians, because the Christians consider that the Messiah came, and we consider that we are waiting for the Messiah. When it's going to come, we don't know, but we consider that when the Messiah is going to come will be the redemption time. It will be the end of the time, or the end of this process. We can let's say in that way, we have a checklist. Abraham, okay. Exodus, okay. Sinai, okay. Exile, okay. Return, okay. Messianic hope, it's open. Okay, we are waiting for this time. Then perhaps the Geula, the redemption, it's not complete. And we need also to analyze and to see and to study and to compare the different times with what is redemption for each generation. Perhaps for other generation, and I'm going to talk about this, perhaps for the generation of the 40s, okay, when the state of Israel was established, perhaps many people believe, okay, it's the redemption time. That's it. What is redemption? It's it. Perhaps for other people, what is redemption time? and we have here Susie as a witness, survive the Holocaust. Okay, who survived the Holocaust perhaps felt that it's the redemption time. How can you consider this? Did you reflect about this point as a redemption, Susie? Not exactly after the Holocaust, but after a couple of years. Do you think that it's a sign of redemption to survive the Holocaust? You need to unmute, Susie. Just press when you have the red microphone in the bottom of your screen. Many times after a big war, the generation can consider that it's time of redemption. Okay, we are safe, we survive. It was a terrible time. Okay, it's the redemption time. It's going to be a different time. Take a game. I'm thinking that you pressed twice. This is the reason that you
Oh,
now it's open.
now, I
Yes.
had lost the whole thing. What were you asking me, Rabbi?
Oh, you are a Holocaust survivor. Do you think that? Do you feeling that after the war came a redemption time? Can you consider the after war the redemption time?
I think so. I think so.
And how you imagine after the war, after the big war? Yes, we are talking about the Second World War. Did you imagine that one day the war is coming, the world is coming once again to be fighting and also
No.
war or not?
I didn't think that far, no.
Sometimes when we are in the middle of something so difficult,
Mm.
so tragic, so terrible, you can imagine that something like this it's going to happen again.
Well, history repeats itself, unfortunately.
But sometimes we are thinking, okay, not never again. Yes, the never again. We said many times never again. I'm thinking that in the same way that we said never again, that we imagine that it's not coming a tragedy again, perhaps we are thinking in the same way about redemption. Perhaps we thought, okay, we are so close, or we are experienced the redemption, or perhaps it's partial experience of the redemption. This is the reason that we have a list. Thank you, Susie. Let's continue. How do the prophets envision redemption? And here we are going to Isaiah, Ishayahu, chapter 2, verse 4. And here we have the famous verse, בשפט בין הגויים והוכיח לעמים רבים, וכתבו חרבותם לעתים בחניתותיהם למזמרות, לא יישא אל גוי חרב ולא ילמדו עוד מלחמה. This famous part of Isaiah, they shall never again know war. Okay, nation shall not take up sword against nation. They shall never again know war. We need to remember that Isaiah saw the destruction of Jerusalem. And of course, when after this tragic experience, it was a wish, it was a desire that never again it's a different way to say never again. Yes, snore again, nation shall not take up sword against nation. They shall never again know war. It's a desire, okay? but we know that this didn't happen. We have a very nice melody to remember this verse. Perhaps you know. Lo יישא גוי אל גוי חרב, לא ילמדו עוד מלחמה. לא יישא גוי אל גוי חרב, לא ילמדו עוד מלחמה. לא יישא גוי אל גוי חרב, לא ילמדו עוד מלחמה. לא יישא גוי אל גוי חרב, לא ילמדו עוד מלחמה. It was a way, and it is a way till our days, to find a verse that show us an ideology, to put a melody, and then to repeat. And we repeat and repeat and repeat because it's a Jewish desire that someday, we don't know when, perhaps will be with the redemption, in the redemption time, that the nation can live in peace one with the other. Okay, and this what we read in Ishayahu. And here is a commentary from Rabbi Adin Steinsaltz. He passed away a couple of years ago, but we can consider Rabbi Steinsaltz, Adin Steinsaltz, one of the sage of our generation. Who would like to read Rabbi Steinsaltz's commentary? Steinsaltz,
Can read.
please.
The glory of God at the end of days and his judgment. The previous prophecy, which consisted of stinging reproach, referred explicitly to the Jerusalem of Isaiah's time. The following prophecy also includes reproofs of Isaiah's Judah and Jerusalem, but it also contains prophecies addressed to the wider world and a future time. This is an early indication of the tension between the locale-specific and universalist viewpoints within Isaiah's message. The final part of the prophecy features an unmistakably, I read this, universal prophecy describing the end of day, and yet the mountain of the house of the Lord, mentioned at the outset, retains its central place as a source of Torah and justice for the world. This is perhaps, although not necessarily, the first universal prophecy of Isaiah to be recorded. Since not all of the prophecies in the book of Isaiah were recorded in the order in which they were delivered, it could be that this prophecy was uttered during the later stage of the prophet's career. Further on, the prophecy describes a terrible downfall that will occur before the glory of God is revealed in the world. Judah and Jerusalem failed to behave properly, and the people must be held to account for their deeds and amend their ways before the redemption can be completed. Only when evil is eradicated from Jerusalem and the city is consecrated will it become a light to the nations in the last part, which contains messages of comfort. The prophet returns to the description with which he began of Jerusalem and Zion at the end of days.
Thank you very much, Susie. We can see here, and this is something we have many messages or prophecies. Some of them are universal. When we are talking about the peace between the nations, it's not a message just for Israel, it's an universal message. When we are talking nowadays about a war, we have many wars around the world. It's not just a war in Middle East. Okay, we have many wars around the planet, and this message also it's a message of hope. It's a message. It's a message of hope, and it's a message of redemption. Okay, what will happen at the end of the day? Yes, we consider that things are going to be better. This is a desire. This is a Jewish prophet, but with an universal message. Because when we are talking about redemption, it's not the focus of our class today is to see and to understand the Jewish point of view of redemption, but it's not just a Jewish topic, redemption. Okay, who brings redemption? And here we have the answer. God brings redemption. The Jewish people brings redemption. When we remember when we read the Torah, the concept of the mission of the Jewish people is to be Or Lagoim, light to the nations. Being light to the nations, okay, we can arrive to the redemption. Light to the nation in the way to show that we need to follow, and we need to keep the commandments, and we need to be an example to the others. When we as a people are not an example to the others, the redemption is really far. Who brings redemption? All humanity. As I mentioned before, it's not just our duty, our responsibility. We need to be together. Okay, it's the same ship, it's the same boat, it's the same world. It's not my world, I'm in peace, I deserve the redemption, and my world would be better. I have neighbors, okay? If the world of my neighbor it's a chaos, okay, they will be far from the redemption, and I'm not going to enjoy the redemption if the others I'm in a bad situation. And also, what it's going to bring redemption is the tension between waiting and acting. Okay, we can be passive. It's not something that you are waiting for the redemption. We need to do our part. Okay, it's very easy if we are sitting and we are in a comfortable couch or chair waiting for the redemption. Okay, and we make a phone call. God, we are waiting. Okay, for the redemption, but God is not waiting for our call phone, and we need to do our part. Now we are going to understand what is redemption. And here, I would like to share with you 4 thinkers, different times, different places, and we need to consider also the history of each person. We are going to start with Rabbi Maimonides, Rabbi Moshe ben Maimon. He was born in Spain, yes, in 1138, and he died in 1204. Moshe Maimonides, also known as the acronym of Rambam, Rabbi Moshe ben Maimon, was a preeminent medieval Sephardic Jewish philosopher, Torah scholar, and physician. He born in Cordoba, Spain, and he fled persecution, eventually settling in Cairo, Egypt. Try to imagine, yes, you know the map of Europe. Spain, it's in the bottom of Europe, and try to remember where is Egypt. Okay, Egypt, it's in Africa, in the border with Asia. Okay, and by the persecution, he arrived till Egypt, and he was a philosopher. He was also a doctor, and he became very, very famous, not just as a rabbi, also as a doctor. And there he became the personal physician to Sultan Saladin and penned monumental works in theology and law. Now, nature of redemption. Okay, how Maimonides thought about this topic. A natural historical process culminating in the Messianic age. Miracles are not essential, okay, to feel that we are in the redemption time. Okay, it's a natural historical process culminated in the Messianic age. This is another question. What is the Messianic age? Okay, we are expecting that someone is going to come, and in Judaism we believe that Eliyahu, Elijah, is going to introduce the Messiah, the Mashiach. Okay, when it's going to happen, we don't know, but Maimonides said it's a natural historical process culminating in the Messianic age. We need also to consider that many of these thinkers live in a difficult time and they need to find a hope to share with the community, to continue, and to find a goal to continue, something that makes sense, that we are going to be better in the future. And this topic, redemption, it's like an extra energy. It's like a vitamin that you receive. Okay, let's go ahead. We are in the middle of the persecution. We are in the bad time. We lost our homes. Our family was killed. Okay, we move to another place. Let's wait for a better time. This is the redemption. The Mashiach, the Messianic age will come, but miracles are not essential. Okay, and about the human role, observe Torah, strengthen society, await the Messiah, will living responsibly. Okay, and the resources to know more about Maimonides' thought is Mishneh Torah, Ilchot, the laws of Melachim, commentary of the Mishnah, Sanhedrin, and the 10th chapter, just as resource. Then, let me see. Then we have another thinker, Yehuda Lo ben Betzalel. He lived in 1520 and he died in 1609. Rabbi Yehuda Lo ben Betzalel, widely known as the Maharal of Prague. Why they call Maharal? Because it's also the first letters of his name, Moreinu Arav Lo. If you join this, yes, you have the word Maharal. 16th century Talmudic scholar, philosopher, and mystic. He is celebrated for foundational works on Jewish theology and the famous legend of creating the golem. Did you listen about the legend of the golem? Did you visit Prague? Do you like to share what is the legend of the golem? It's also related to persecution and redemption, the golem. What is the golem? The golem, okay, the Jewish community in Prague was under persecution. And then this rabbi that was a mystic, he created in the imaginary of the people like a monster, and he called to this monster the golem. Okay, and this golem, this monster, is going to come to attack everyone who is against Jews, who persecute Jews. Okay, and he put this thought in the population. Then the population took care about if they are going to attack or not the Jewish community. But this legend And if you visit Prague nowadays, you are going to find the monument, the Golem monument. Okay, try to imagine like a King Kong, something like this, the Golem. Okay, a monster without face, very, very scary. But it was a way to protect the Jewish community, creating a story. And Rabbi the Maharal said the redemption is the unfolding of God's cosmic order. History has an inner spiritual direction. And the resources, human beings prepare themselves spiritually and morally, but redemption ultimately reflects God's designs. Okay? For the redemption, you need to be, you need to prepare yourself. At the beginning, I'm thinking that Paul said that it's something that coming from us. Okay, this is the way that the Maharal thought. Okay, you need to be prepared yourself spiritually and morally. It's like something is going to happen, but if you are not enough developed in your spirituality, you are not going to see, or you are not going to understand that you are in the redemption time. Okay, you need to prepare yourself, and when you prepare yourself, you will be. It will be possible to understand. And the source is Netzach Israel, chapter 1 and 4, 26, 28, Gevurot Hashem. Let's enter a little deep in the thoughts of Maimonides about Rabbi Moshe ben Maimon. Rabbi Moshe ben Maimon was a rationalist. And through Maimonides, okay, we can understand the Greek, the philosophers of the Greek philosophers enter and influence the way that Maimonides thought, and he put part of this, of course, thoughts, the Greeks thinkers also inside the Jewish philosophy. Who would like to read about Maimonides, please? Just open the mic and read, please. Eddie?
I'll read it. Okay.
Please. We are going to have more text to read, okay? But I need some volunteers. Let's go. Maimonides, redemption as a rational...
That's rational history. Maimonides presents perhaps the most restrained vision of redemption. In the
Ilchot Melachim.
12:1-2, he writes that one should not expect the law of the nature to change. In the Messianic era, the world continues according to its natural order. The Messiah is primarily a descendant of David, a political and spiritual leader, one who restores Jewish sovereignty, gather the exiles, rebuild the temples, establishes universal knowledge of God. For Maimonides, redemption is not escapism, but creation of society in which people are finally free to pursue the wisdom and know God. Key idea: redemption creates the condition for humanity, intellectual and spiritual perfection.
Thank you very much. Once again, he was a rationalist, And then if we are, once again, if we have the checklist, we know, and many thinkers agree that the Messiah is going to come and from the David's family. Do you remember the Ruth history that we studied? He will be a political and spiritual leader. The Jewish sovereignty, it will be restored, gathers the exiles, okay? And this is also one important point to consider. There are many people who think that the redemption and the Messiah will come when the entire people of Israel will be living in the land of Israel. What about us that we are in the diaspora? We will need to move to Israel? We don't know. It's the Messiah is going to come if the entire people of Israel is not in the land of Israel? It's a question. Gathers the exiles, rebuild the temple. This is another question. This is another point. Is going to be rebuilt the temple of Jerusalem? And if the answer is yes, and if the answer is in the same place that was the first and the second temple, what we are going to do with the mosques? Hey, it's a problem. It's a problem. And the Messiah and the redemption time is going to come just when the temple will be built, or the Messiah and the redemption time will arrive, and then as a consequence of this action, the temple will be rebuilt. And establish universal knowledge of God. It's like we have one God and we believe in one God, and the entire world is going to recognize this God, this unique God that the people of Israel believe. This will be the time of redemption. Okay? And we are going to have the opportunity to feel and to experience the free to pursue wisdom and know God. Okay? This is Maimonides. The Maharal, yes, we talk about the Maharal. Here it's develop ideas of the Maharal. Carly, do you like to read, please?
Sure. Maharal of Prague, Redemption as the Fulfillment of Creation. The Maharal criticizes reducing redemption to politics or historical events. In Netzach Yisrael, exile is not merely geographical. It represents disorder, fragmentation, and alienation from humanity's true purpose. Redemption restores the harmony intended by God at creation. Unlike Maimonides' rational emphasis, the Maharal sees history as possessing an inner metaphysical rhythm directed by God. The key idea, redemption reveals the hidden order embedded within the creation itself.
We can
Wow.
see, we can, thank you, Carolee. We can see the Maharal if in a different time, we are talking about 200 years later, but he knows how Maimonides thought. He disagree in some points, okay? But try to see what's going on in our world or in our Jewish world nowadays. It's a disorder. It's a fragmentation, alienation. Okay, this happened. We can say that we are on the way of the redemption. It's a process. Okay, and we need to restore the harmony. This harmony that the Adam and Eve, okay, so in after the creation, okay, this is the way that we used to say, and we need to go back to paradise. When you spend a nice week in a nice place, no concern, no problems, good food, good music, good company. You are in the paradise. Yes or not? And then the idea of redemption is to go and to restore this harmony that we receive during the creation. Okay? But I'm thinking that we are far from this at this moment. Let's see, and we are jumping every 200 years to different philosophers and rabbis and thinkers. Now we are going to talk about Abraham Yitzhak Kook, the famous Rav Kook, a Zionist rabbi. Who would like to read?
I'll read.
Read, Rabbi.
Please, go ahead.
Okay.
Abraham Isaac Cook.
You got it. Go ahead, Sherry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
Robbie.
you go.
We have
You got it.
another one to read. Don't worry.
You got another. Go ahead, Sherry.
Okay, thanks. 1865 to 1935. Abraham Isaac Cook, 1865. Was the first Ashkenazi chief rabbi of British Mandatory Palestine and the founding theologian of religious Zionism. A towering mystic, poet, and philosopher, he uniquely combined strict traditional orthodoxy with a radical, loving embrace of modernity, secular Zionism, and all the facets of Jewish life. Redemption is gradual and already unfolding through Jewish national renewal and the return to the land of Israel. Every act of building Jewish life, settling the land, and elevating society participates in redemption. Orot the lights, Orot ha-teshuvah.
Igerot Araya. Okay, this is the sources. Thank you very much, Sherry. But here we have something that we call something that it's more tachlis. Okay, it's more real. Okay, he said redemption is gradual and already unfolding through Jewish national renewal and the return to the land of Israel. Okay, this is something that you can see. Okay, we have the land of our ancestors, but nowadays we have and we are building the modern state of Israel. And he was, you need to remember that when we are talking about Zionism, we are talking about different ways to understand Zionism. Abraham Kook, Rav Kook, thought that the way to establish the modern state of Israel, it was through the religion, but the religion regarding to the land. Okay, he promoted Aliyah, but he promoted people that's going with faith and to go and work the land of Israel. That it was the way to rebuild the modern state of Israel. But we can see here, okay, he said that we are part of every single thing that we do, every act of building Jewish life, settling the land, and elevating society participates. It's a way to participate in the redemption. Okay. It's not just one thing, it's not the Messiah, it's something real, okay? People doing Aliyah, making Aliyah, living in the land of Israel, working in the land of Israel, okay. We are building redemption, okay? But there's one point in common, all the thinkers, they were the philosophers and also they love mysticism, okay? And when we are talking about redemption, you have a side of mysticism too. Okay, Sherry, do you like to continue to read about Rabbi Kook?
Avi can read.
Oh, Abby, please.
Rabbi Abraham Isaac Kook, redemption is already happening. Rav Kook revolutionized Jewish thought by arguing that redemption unfolds gradually through history. In Orot,
He interprets modern Jewish nationalism, even when led by secular pioneers, as part of God's redemptive plan. He famously teaches that holiness often emerges through historical processes before people fully recognize it, thus rebuilding the land, reviving Hebrew, creating Jewish institutions, national renewal, are all stages of Achata de Geulah,
התחלה דגאולה.
the beginning of redemption. For Rav Kook, redemption is evolutionary rather than sudden. The key idea is that God works through history, and even imperfect human efforts can become instruments of redemption.
Thank you very much, Avi. Even imperfect human effort can become instrument of redemption. But once again, here we can see, we can learn, we can listen. First of all, rebuilding the land. What is rebuilding the land? Okay, go and work. Let's work and let's produce food in the land of Israel. Let's build houses. Let's see the evolution. Reviving the Hebrew before the modern state of Israel, the Hebrew was just the language to read the Torah. It was not the common language for the people of Israel. The people of Israel in Europe, for the Ashkenazi communities, the main language was Yiddish. Okay, for the Sephardic Jewish communities, the main language was Ladino. Okay, and Hebrew was the language just for the Torah reading and studying. It was considered a holy language, and if you use the Hebrew to talk about routine, it's like you are putting in a different level the holy language of the Torah. To have a routinary conversation about, okay, I need to go to the restaurant, or I need to go to the supermarket to buy potatoes or tomato. If I say this in Hebrew, that generation before the modern state of Israel, they consider that was a way to interfere with the holy language of the Torah. And then came one professor called Eliezer ben Yehuda. Eliezer ben Yehuda had a very difficult mission, okay, to transform the holy language of the Torah in the language of the modern state of Israel. And then he started to create vocabulary, to expand the vocabulary. And all that Jews who arrived from different places of Europe to the new nation that they started to build, instead to continue to talk Yiddish or Ladino or their own language from the country, they start to talk Hebrew. And nowadays, Hebrew is the official language of the state of Israel, but Hebrew continue to be the holy language of the Torah. Okay, many communities, and especially the ultra-Orthodox communities or Orthodox communities, they don't talk Hebrew as a regular language. They talk Yiddish. Okay, they talk Yiddish and they keep the Hebrew just for the Torah study. But reviving the Hebrew, it was also a way for redemption. Okay, the language. Creating Jewish institutions, okay, hospitals, schools, universities. Okay, it was a way for the national renewal. And if we renew ourselves, okay, we are going to be instruments of the redemption. If you speak Hebrew, if you live in the land of Israel, if you build an institution, I can say nowadays, perhaps if we don't live in the land of Israel, but we support the state of Israel, I'm not talking about the administration, okay? But if we support the state of Israel, it's a way to continue to build this redemption. But when they established the land of Israel, Rav Kook thought that it was the beginning of the redemption. Okay, he experienced the redeeming. He was a believer. It was the beginning of the redemption. Okay, and now we have here a contemporary rabbi, Rabbi Abraham Yoshua Heschel. He was born in Europe, and he moved to America, and he was professor at the beginning of at the Hebrew Union College, and then from the Hebrew Union College, he moved to the JTS, Jewish Theological Seminary in New York. And nowadays, his daughter, Susan Heschel, continued to spread Rabbi Heschel ideology. Redemption is, and you will see how different is the way that Rabbi Heschel thought. Redemption is ethical and spiritual. God seeks human partners to transform history through justice and compassion. Okay, we have here, Heschel don't say go and live in Israel and create and build institution or rebuild the Temple of Jerusalem. No. Do you like redemption? Okay, embrace justice and compassion. That is something that we can do. Fighting injustice, defending human dignity, and living with moral responsibility hasten redemption. Okay, we need to remember that when Martin Luther King Jr.'s march in Alabama, Rabbi Heschel was marching with him, and Rabbi Heschel fight for human rights, and Rabbi Heschel was against the Vietnam War. Okay, he was one of the strong voices against the Vietnam War. This is the way, and of course that he was a philosopher, but he thought that it's something ethical and spiritual. Okay, in some point we see that also Rambam Maimonides said that it's something spiritual, completely different from Rav Kook. Okay, but it's very difficult to imagine the redemption time if we continue to experience a world, an injustice world. Okay? It will be very difficult to receive the Mashiach if the world it's not a safe place to live. But it's very important, this consideration. Other reading, other volunteer about Abraham Yeshua Heschel, redemption. Who would like to read?
I can read.
Please, Jason.
Abraham Joshua Heschel, Redemption Through Moral Responsibility. Heschel shifts the focus from national history to ethical action. In God in Search of Man, he argues that God continuously calls human beings into covenant. The central religious question is not, when will the Messiah come, but rather, how shall we respond to God's call today? Inspired by the Hebrew prophets, Heschel sees justice, compassion, and human dignity as the very substance of redemption. His participation in the American Civil Rights Movement reflected this theology. After marching with Martin Luther King Jr. in the Selma to Montgomery marches, he wrote, "I feel my legs were praying. For Heschel, redemption advances whenever people confront oppression and sanctify everyday life through acts of justice. And key ideas, redemption begins whenever human beings become partners with God in repairing the world.
Thank you very much, Jason. This is what we call in the Reform movement, and we are going to see this soon. This is repairing the world. It's what we call tikkun olam. Okay, letaken olam. We need to repair the world because we see the injustice. When, for example, if we have brother and sister in poverty, okay, it's not fair. It's an injustice. Okay, we would like that everybody will have a ceiling, a house, food to eat, okay, shower, conditions. Okay, what is wrong, we try to change, and it's about justice, it's about human rights, it's about compassion, it's about dignity, human dignity. This is the way that Rabbi Abraham Yeshua Heschel, and here we have a big change. Yes, about his question, when will the Messiah come? We do not to wait for the Messiah. Okay? Don't wait for the Mashiach. Let's act today and now. Let's do our part. Don't wait for the Messiah. Perhaps as Israeli singer Shalom Hanoch wrote in one of his songs, Mashiach lo va vegan lo metalfen. The Messiah didn't come, and he didn't call. Okay, we don't need to wait for redemption. We need to do our part, and this will be part of the process to arrive to the redemption. But this is the key words, okay? Justice, compassion, dignity, respect. And we are not talking just about Jews, okay? This is also something universal. And then, other volunteer to read this part. Who would like to read this part?
I'll go ahead.
Paul, please, go ahead.
Taken together, these thinkers suggest that redemption is multifaceted. Maimonides reminds us that redemption requires realistic institutions, peace, and wisdom. The Maharal teaches that history has a spiritual purpose beyond what we immediately perceive. Rav Kook encourages us to recognize God's presence in historical renewal and collective creativity. Heschel insists that redemption is impossible without justice, compassion, and moral courage. A Reformed Jewish perspective can draw on all four voices. Redemption is God-inspired, historically unfolding, ethically demanding, and dependent upon human partnership. In this sense, Geulah is neither solely a future hope nor merely a mystical promise. It is a calling to participate in the ongoing work of healing the world. Tikkun Olam.
Thank you very much, Paul. And I'm thinking that this is very important, and this touch us as a Reformed Jews, okay, or as a modern Jews, okay. We can't say that it's just, or that redemption we have just one definition. It's a mix of each thinker, and we build our own perspective of redemption. We understand God inspired, historically unfolding, ethically demanding, and depend upon human partnership. Okay, it's a part of each one of these answers of these thinkers, but it's very important. It's very important that also it's an action. Okay, tikkun olam, it's something that you are doing. If you are going to bring food for poor families, as the Social Action Committee is doing at Temple Bethel Riverside, we are practicing Tikkun Olam, and we are building part of this redemption. Try to imagine if many people are doing the same, okay, we are going to have a better world with justice, and this is an action that, of course, will be inspired by God, but also God will see what we are doing, and we are going to walk to the redemption. Perhaps we don't need the redemption. The redemption, we are going to be inside the redemption with these kind of actions. This is also very important. If we are building the redemption every day with small acts, we are building the redemption. Perhaps we are inside the redemption. We don't realize that it's redemption time. But if we see around us, we can consider that it's not enough, okay? Because we are in a world with injustice, okay? We need to build our redemption, and then we are going to stimulate others to enter in this spirit. What helps bring redemption closer? One, it's tzedakah. When we practice acts of tzedakah, acts righteous giving and social justice. Teshuvah, repentance and return. Justice. Torah study. And I am so happy to see so many of you who attended the Torah study, because you are going to understand better what is redemption. Acts of loving kindness, gemilut chasadim, and building strong and caring communities. What we are trying to do here together at Temple Bethel Riverside. Once again, we have here like a checklist, okay? And my question is, do you practice enough tzedakah, acts of justice? Are you thinking about your teshuvah, your repentance and return? Are you involved with justice? Do you consider that you study enough Torah and you practice enough Torah, what we are reading, what we are studying? Are we practicing this, yes or not? And gimilut chasadim, acts, okay? This is not something passive. We are doing, you need to do your part, okay? And building strong communities. Are we already living at the beginning of redemption? If we are in the generation of Rav Kook, perhaps we can think that yes, okay. And here we have some answer, present several perspectives without seeing a single definitive answer. Yes, the creation of the state of Israel as an act of redemption, the ethical challenges facing our world today, the responsibility of Reform Judaism in the 21st century. It's very important, and we need to thank to the American Reform movement that the idea or the ideology of Tikkun Olam, it's coming from the Reform movement. Later on, also the conservative movement embraced this idea. And then the idea of Tikkun Olam became the flag of the modern, let's say in that way, of the modern Jewish movements. Why? Because I'm thinking that our community is closer to Tikkun Olam than the ideology that the Mashiach is going to come. Okay. Tikkun Olam is something that we practice, we know. What about the Mashiach, the Messiah? It's going to come when? Did she schedule that it's going to come? When? We are going to receive the Mashiach where? In the east of Jerusalem, is going to enter to the old city of Jerusalem. But I'm here, I'm in America. I'm not in Israel. and the gate where the Messiah is going to enter, it's closed. It's the unique gate in Jerusalem, in the old city of Jerusalem, that it's closed. Okay. And why it's closed? Because it's in the east side of the old city of Jerusalem, and this side of the city belongs to the Muslim community. And the Muslim community, just in case they close the gate, okay, they don't like that the Mashiach is going to come. Why? We are talking that we are going to rebuild the temple of Jerusalem. Where? In the place that are the mosque nowadays. It's not easy, but this is part of the beginning. We can, it's a question. Is it the beginning of the redemption? If it's the beginning of redemption, we need to consider that we are part of this generation. Okay. Some of you are witnesses when the state of Israel was established. Yes, some of you born without the state of Israel, and nowadays we have the state of Israel. Okay, and the concept of Tikkun Olam also is something new. Perhaps you didn't know when you was a child, your parents didn't talk about Tikkun Olam. I don't remember to talk with my parents about Tikkun Olam. Okay, and I don't remember to talk with my teachers when I was a child about Tikkun Olam. It's something that that came and was developed by the reform movement all around the world. And we are talking about redemption. And with this, we are going to conclude. This is something fantastic from Pirkei Avot. Okay, this is from the Talmud. It's not your duty to complete the work, but neither are you free to desist from it. It's really very, very nice. Sometimes you can say, oh, it's too much for me. Okay, you are not responsible to complete, but you can desist from it. Okay, it's too much. Okay, I don't have enough time. I'm working too much. But what happened, okay, it's also our obligation to complete this work. And if it's not us, the next generation that coming after us. This teaching beautifully summarized the Jewish understanding of redemption. Redemption is not about passively waiting for a perfect future. It's about actively participating in its creation through justice, compassion, and commitment to community. It provides an inspired conclusion to an adult education series, leaving participants with both a concrete challenge and a hopeful vision for the year ahead. And this is really very important, my friends. Okay, if you are thinking that, okay, that this is enough and we are doing our part, always it's a challenge. What else we can do, what we can add in our lives, what actions are we ready, what we like to change, are we ready to change something of our environment, are we ready to repair something, are we ready to have a better relationship with our family, with our friends, with our neighbors? This is part of the redemption. This is part of the Geulah. Okay, this is an important concept that I wanted to share with you during this meeting. Any commentary? Opinions?
Thank you. I really understand better what is meant in Judaism by redemption. Thank you. That really, really was instructive. Thanks.
Thank you, Caroline.
And various points of view. I really appreciated the various points of view.
Mhm.
The different philosophers.
It's a very important topic in Judaism, because if you go and you talk with different rabbis for different movements, you are going to listen a different answer. I invite you to talk to, if you meet other rabbis, ask, what's your opinion about redemption? Let's see if they answer Tikkun Olam, if they answer Mashiach. All that you are doing, it's for redemption. All the action you need to add commitments, and you need to practice more and more mitzvot, then the Mashiach will come. And in the Reform Judaism, we say exactly the opposite. Practice now and do now, and perhaps it will be not necessary. We are building the redemption time, and perhaps the Mashiach will rest in peace. He will not come. He didn't come till today. Perhaps if we change the world for better, perhaps it will be not necessary. Or perhaps the Mashiach will be happy to see that things are going better, and we will have a better conditions to live with our neighbors. As Isaiah said, yes, we will live in a time of peace. My friends, thank you very much for being here. I would like to invite each one of you to come tomorrow and to enjoy our barbecue. If you didn't send your RSVP, you can send. Don't worry. We bought enough food. Come here.
Watch them unload it today.
You are going to enjoy burgers and fresh onions and tomatoes and lettuce and hot dogs and a very nice environment. And I have a special invitation. We are not going just to celebrate the American independence. We are going to celebrate Shabbat, and we have an extra motivation to be tomorrow together to celebrate Susie's birthday. Okay, Susie's Koppel birthday. Okay, then you are invited. We have really very good reasons to be together tomorrow. If you like, come. If you have some special dress to commemorate the American independence, you can wear, or come with the colors of the American flag. It's your creativity. Okay, 5:30, and after that, the service. Okay. Thank you very much for your attention. We are going to do a break during July, and we are going to restart in August, September, before the high holidays. Okay. Thank you very much for your attention. If you enter at the end of our meeting, remember that it's recorded in our YouTube page. Or if you like to read again about the different rabbis and the different ideologies, ideas, you are welcome to watch again the video. Thank you for your participation, and in advance, Shabbat Shalom, Mevorach. See you tomorrow.
Shabbat Shalom. Yes,
Shalom.
thank you.
Rabbi.
Bye.
Yep,
Thank you.
yeah. Avi,
Yeah,
I need to talk with you.
you do.
Yeah, I'll
I
call you.
I